Welcome. In this lecture, we would be doing a quick summary of the Yojana March edition. Now, this talks about the Amrit Kal and the highlights of the budget. So, based on the Amrit Kal, this is the first budget presented during the Amrit Kal. Talks about the global uncertainties, the pandemic, the rising food prices, the rise of the fertilizer price, and therefore a need to shift to organic millets, which require lesser water, lesser fertilizers, and how the central banks are struggling across the globe. There has been a global recession. The banking system is in turmoil across the globe, and how Indian banking system following the Basel III norms can actually sail through. So bringing in following aspects, that is commitment to capital expenditure, conservative assumptions, transparency, having commitment to fiscal prudence are some of the important aspects. And then the idea of Saptarishi, which is inclusive growth, last mile connectivity, infrastructure, potential green growth, youth, and fiscal financial sector. So creating a new age of reforms which talks about trust-based governance, cooperation with private sector, and improving agriculture becomes an important aspect, and providing interest-free loans to the state government to incentivize the infrastructure. So digital push through the CoWIN portal and Digital India Mission is one such example. To address the climate change, we are talking about a carbon neutral country by 2070, green hydrogen emission missions, Mission Innovation 2.0, PM Pranam, which is for organic use, and Gobardhan scheme are some of those. So Gobardhan scheme is waste to wealth. So using the bioding and biofuels for biofuels is the basic idea. There have been more than 200 plants which produce compressed biogas, and 300 plants are the community level. The PM Pranam scheme talks about organic fertilizers rather than chemical fertilizers. A cooperative fiscal federalism focuses on the various government units and the individual state and center structure. So through the intergovernmental transfer, what is important? Grants and aid, tax devolution, centrally sponsored schemes, which includes introduction of GST, which was brought in 2017 as part of cooperative fiscal federalism, boosting the capital infrastructure in expenditure during the COVID times, and this has brought in huge amount of employment opportunities. Urban reforms has been brought, old scrapped vehicles have been removed, and a concept of unity mall, which would be a place where the local products could be sold. Setting up of physical libraries in Gram Panchayats is another idea. Now, through the Planning Commission, moving to Niti Aayog, it's a bottom-up approach which talks about cooperative federalism and has an important role in determining the constitutional mechanism of Finance Commission. So, it has been focusing on the sources for revenue and capital generation. There are various centrally sponsored schemes, and the rationalization for the same is important. So, under this, there are 28 umbrella schemes which talks about 6 core to core schemes and 20 core schemes, 2 optional schemes. So this breakdown again is important. Also, a strong federal fiscal shield during the pandemic becomes extremely important. So understanding the borrowing limit of the state, which has been increased by 2% of the gross state domestic product, bringing in more developments through the social sector allocation, through the PM Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, bringing in increase in the per capita income, doubling that, increasing the health expenditure, checking the Anganwadis, bringing in the PM Poshan Shakti Nirman, which is the midday meals scheme, and also the PM Pranam scheme. So these social infrastructure programs are extremely important. Under this, increasing the number of IITs, IIMs, and triple ITs, starting a national telemedicine or a telemental health program, health grants to be increased, agricultural monetization to take place, and year 2023 to be designed as an international year for millets. Incentives have been given for nutritious grains, and these have been known as Shri Anna. So there are various small farmers, startups, entrepreneurs who are being working together to export these millets to the international market, and therefore export promotion becomes important. It's not just that we want a food security, but we want to move from a food security to a nutrition security, and that's extremely important. So through the NAM, which is the National Agricultural Market Scheme, we are covering various series of farmers and traders across India. Now, if we talk about individual crops, for example, cotton, the domestic demand is 20 lakh bales. However, we produce only 5 lakh bales. Most of it gets imported from US and Egypt. India grows on 36% of the total cultivable area, but still is having a very poor crop productivity. We rank 36th in the world, and therefore the problem is the long fiber takes a long time to mature. The long fiber is not being preferred by the farmers, and then the infestation by the pink ball worm has reduced the productivity. So digital agriculture is another step through which we are bringing in cooperatives, startups and allied sector. Even for animal husbandry and dairy development, lumpy disease, African swine were two main diseases which have harmed and affected the cattle in the last 3 years. Fishery sector has been given a boost. Through the fishery sector, we are talking about the PM Matsya Kisan Saha Yojana, which is a core scheme for fishery development. Import duty related to shrimp has been reduced. Custom duties on fish meal, krill meal has been reduced. For the health post-pandemic, we have started with nearly 157 new nursing colleges in the districts where medical colleges have been opened, and there are proposals to start ICMR labs with public-private cooperation in certain areas. Also, one of the diseases, which is sickle cell, we are trying to make India free of sickle cell by 2047. It is a genetic condition seen in the tribal population. 1 in 9 gets affected by it in the tribal areas. Even for the non-health startup, artificial intelligence is an important aspect. Calamity contingency duty has been created. There has been Department for Health Research, which is working on the allocation for National Health Mission. And then the priorities for 2047, which is 100 years of independence, talks about proper vaccination coverage, checking out the 11 diseases which are considered as neglected tropical diseases like filariasis, kala azar, snake bites on a high priority. Bringing in data quality, data assurance, a digital infrastructure, reforming the healthcare system, better mental health and post-COVID pandemic issues to be catered. Malnutrition and anemia in women are another two important aspects. So also another development is for a conducive business growth. So for that, the procedures should be simplified. One platform for creation of the documentation, rationalization of any repeals or amendments to be done, digitization through online interface, decriminalization of default procedures, and bringing in 100% FDI in certain sectors which are investment friendly. We have a national single window system. Now this would be a single window system for identification, approval and clearances for the various investors and entrepreneurs. We also have started foreign investments, and this has been simplified through the introduction to GST, reduction in the corporate tax, financial market reforms, a good strong consolidation of public sector banks, FDI policy changes, and a phased manufacturing program. In the banking sector, we are confined to the brick and mortar buildings so far, but now we are moving into a digital world, a virtual world, where numerous innovations have come in deposit schemes. Electronic depositions have been made possible rather than the physical fixed deposits. Agriculture is one of the specific sectors which require a lot of lending, and Kisan credit cards have been released. For the e-courts, simplification of the process through Vivad Se Vishwas, and the phase 2 for it has come, and input based to result based financing is the major idea that we are focusing. For the banking sectors, bringing in new saving schemes, sources for government borrowing, campaigns for promoting digital transactions, loans for specific sector, and reforms for banking government have been brought. The personal income tax slab has been redefined. For the deposit schemes, for 2 years, the bank's interest rate have increased from 6.75 to 7%. There have been changes made to the existing post office scheme. Senior citizens are given benefit. Under the digital transaction schemes, RuPay debit cards and Bheem UPI are two important e-commerce transactions which have been started. Even for the overall development for women, Mahila Samman Bachat Patra, that is the saving certificates have been released. For girls, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, for a girl child below the age of 10 years, maximum up to 2, 3 in the case of first twin girl child, account can be opened. and a maximum of 1.5 lakhs can be deposited every year. For the financial sector, we have laid down the blueprints. We have discussed that in detail in our class on the budget and the economic survey analysis for this year. But re-mentioning some of the issues, the most important is the digital currency, the launch of e-rupee, digital university, one class, one TV channel, PM e-Vidya, the virtual labs which are being established, e-content development, and then job creation through agricultural credit, green credit, unity mall, production linked incentive schemes are some of those. The list of the eco-friendly growth opportunities have been mentioned here, which would be available in the handouts. You can refer that. There are being fiscal management, which becomes extremely important, and to promote this, there is an establishment of National Financial Information Registry and setting up of a central data processing unit, which is required for the youth empowerment, Yuva Shakti program, and bringing in developments in the field of healthcare, fintech, retail, electric vehicles, e-commerce, and 5G transition. And now we are talking about 6G in countries like US, Brazil, and Korea. We have covered a separate lecture on that. Becomes important for youth affairs and sports. Through Khelo India campaign, numerous budgetary allocations have been done. Even for startups and youth-led entrepreneurship, we have seen simplification of KYC, establishment of a central processing center for ease of doing business, and a unified filing process which makes it easier. The skill training for youth, the capital expenditure for the same, and the various skill centers being established. The list of those have been given here. We are also talking about Amrit PD, which is providing a stipend to the 47 lakh youth in the next 3 years, boosting of tourism through the idea of cruise tourism, astrotourism as some of the aspects, and then establishment of unity mall in each of the state capitals become one of the important aspects. Since India is the youth capital of the world with 66% of the total population below the age of 35 years, we have a huge working force which look forward for creating an institutionalized skill development platform. Numerous Eklavya model residential schools have been started. Free food grain scheme has been started. Particularly vulnerable tribal groups and their development has been given a thrust, and also inclusive development. So for inclusive development, we talk about establishment of national digital library and encouraging physical libraries at panchayat and ward level. There have been numerous developments for technical and vocational education, for the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra scheme, Vishwakarma Kaushal Samman Yojana, Sankalp and Strive scheme. Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas is the next important scheme that we have been familiar with. For the middle class, the income tax relaxations have been given. The standard deduction of 50,000 to salaried people and deduction up to 15,000 for the pensioners under the new regime has been brought. For the fiscal deficit and sustainable development, we have seen there are 4 important I's which are important. This is infrastructure, investment, innovation, and inclusion. And then the deficit, the fiscal deficit, the capital expenditure trade-off becomes extremely important. So some of the statistics for the actual and the revised data has been given here, and these help you to understand how the revenue receipts to revenue expenditure must be evaluated in order to understand the center-state relationships and the borrowings and the finances. So this was a quick understanding of the Yojana for the March month. In case you have any questions or doubts, you can feel free to raise your queries in the comment section. We cover Yojana Kurukshetra on a monthly basis and down to earth on a fortnightly basis on the YouTube channel itself. In the coming months, we are having a series of expected questions for your UPSC prelims before your examinations. Don't miss those and do follow the link below for the handouts and more details. Wish you good luck.